Tonight, I will be joined by Macho of Macho Talk Sports as we break down the Jets' second preseason game. And I have been waiting a long time to say this. The Jets won. So let's get fired up.
Ricky, New York is about to go live. We've been through hell, but we still survive. So call it now. I want all the smoke. I'm here to give fans a reason to hope. They continue to build, and soon enough, the Jets will be winning. Now let's get fired up.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching here on YouTube or whether you're watching on X. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And while you're here, hit that like button as hard as you can. So, last night, the Jets played their second preseason game of the year against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if this were any time between September and January, people would say the Steelers are a great organization. They haven't missed the playoffs in years. However, the Jets won, so people will say, well, it's only preseason. It doesn't matter. Well, you know what? It matters to me. I was thrilled that the Jets won. Not only won, but we pitched a shutout. Awesome. Aaron Glenn's superpowers, play calling, were on full display. And we had a good performance. So, let me dive right into it. I was unable to watch a lot of the game as it was going on. I was over at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater, setting up and tearing down for the Rob Zombie show. So I didn't get to see a lot of it, but got home, watched the game in its entirety, and a few things. There were a few things that I wanted to see going into this game. I wanted to see Geno Smith with our starters. I wanted to see some of my guy, A.D. Mitchell. I wanted to see this defense with a full complement with Osai and Enigbari. And you know what? I got to see all of that. Right off rip. A.D. Mitchell stepping up, showing that he can be the guy. And I know over the last few years, Garrett Wilson has had a variety of running mates to have to deal with. And aside from a very brief period where we had Devontae Adams across from him, it hasn't been good. There have been a lot of, let's say, suspect players across from him. A lot of guys that just frankly weren't up to par. We've seen Corey Davis. We've seen, unfortunately, Alan Lazard. It has not been good. The Mike Williams experiment failed miserably. However, I think that we have finally found our answer across from Garrett Wilson. I've been telling people for months that AD Mitchell was the guy. That is one of my guys. And you know what? Uh, he looked good over the summer so far. It looks like it's carrying over from training camp into the preseason. I can't wait. I can't wait for the regular season to start. I am looking so forward to this. And he didn't disappoint. Had a really nice route where he kind of juked the defender, cut across the middle, snagged the pass, first pass of the game. And then later had a really, really nice catch along the sideline. You want to talk about toe drag swag? Nice to keep both feet in bounds. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Nate, Ant, my guy Bill M, Nicely, Valerie, good to see everybody tonight. Let me go ahead and bring on my guest for this evening. If you have not already, make sure you check him out, subscribe to his channel, Macho from Macho Talk Sports. How's it going, man?
Hey, we coming off a W. I feel good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're coming off a W, and I know it's only preseason, whatever. You know what? I don't care. I want to win. I want to win them all. So,
I'll take them how I could get them at this point. Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I could not agree with you more. I will take them however we can get them. And dude, I was just starting to kind of go over some of the game. Dude, I was stoked that they got AD Mitchell involved early. Man,
that's what you were asking for.
Yeah, man, that's my guy. So, you know, dude, I was saying that months ago, like he's going to be the guy. So far, no, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but so far, that's exactly how it looks. And I could not be happier. I do feel somewhat validated seeing that. So
no, he looked good, man.
Yeah, man. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see us take some shots down the field, let him unleash that speed on some opposing defenses. I'm fired up for it, man. Dude, week 1 cannot even get here fast enough for me.
I want to skip the third preseason game. Just go into week 1.
Right. And there was, and Gino was 7 for 7. Now, I heard somebody talking about it earlier. There was the one play that was the batted pass that Dylan Parham ended up catching. Yep. It could have been 6 or 7, but you know what? I'm not going to nitpick. Okay. Gino looked really good. He had lots of time. I liked how they were kind of utilizing the screen game. I think that's going to be important for us this year. I kind of suspected that with Frank Reich, but seeing it implemented, like, dude, the one surefire way to fuck up a Robert Saleh defense is to have that screen game going. So that was very encouraging to see. It would have been nice to see, Brees and Sadiq and like all the guys out there, but I was very happy with what I saw. And I'm super hyped that, we're going to have all those guys back for week 1.
Yeah.
So
I second everything that you're saying. Like the nitpicking with that one throw, even if you take that throw out and he's 6 for 7, he actually lost a couple of passing yards on that throw. So even if you take that away, he still had a great day, great drive. You saw what he had, what we needed to see. That last scoring play, that bootleg to Jelani Woods was a nice call play at the right time, caught the defense off guard, and then running over the defender to get that touchdown. Oh, beautiful. Loved it.
Yeah. That was nice to see too. And, Jelani Woods was Frank Reich draft pick from his
Yep.
time in Indianapolis. So he's already very familiar with that player. And seeing that, yeah, I can understand why they brought him in. I think he'll be a nice compliment. And I mean, dude, we've had, Kenny Yeboah and Kuntz and like all these guys that, oh, are we
Jags.
going to have it? Nah, this guy I think can actually be a real contributor. And dude, that's a big ass strong man right there. Like you said, truck that defender on his way to the end zone. Fucking nice to see, man.
I almost felt bad for the
Love it.
defender.
I
But
wouldn't go that far, but
I almost did. I didn't.
Right.
But when it comes to Jelani Woods, I would be honest, towards the beginning of us collecting our players and stuff like that, I didn't see Jelani Woods as somebody that could possibly make the roster just because I didn't feel like I felt like 4 tight ends might be overkill, right? But now you give the context of Kenyon Sadiq going through his injuries. You give the context of the way that Jeremy Rucker is looking. He's trying to make a splash on the team anywhere you put him. So you see him on special teams sometimes. He's doing. He looks more progressed when it comes to his run blocking and stuff like that. So it might make sense to keep these 4 around, and then after seeing what Jelani could do, as long as he's not somebody that's your starter, you have him coming in for certain packages like that bootleg, like stuff like that. I think that's perfect. Shout out Bill.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Completely agree with you. It's going to be curious when we get down to cut down day. It's going to be curious. I'm like you. Initially I thought, okay, this guy's probably going to be a camp body, something. But now I'm not so sure. And I think like maybe Andrew Beck might find himself on the outside looking in.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, for
so,
sure.
uh, I actually after last night, I'm actually thinking, you know what? Yeah, Jelani Wood's probably going to make this team.
Yeah, and then what Boss Girl saying, yeah, I think that would be the most likely person to cut because if you are keeping 4 tight ends, you already have 5 wide receivers. Arian Smith's not really making a name on the offense at all, and we've had a couple of decent plays from I forgot what was his name, Junior something yesterday, and kick returns. Like we have a couple people we could put at kick return and have as gunners and stuff. Like I don't really see a spot for Arian Smith.
Yeah, and I mean, the bad drops that he's had aside, and I was talking to Boy Green about this the other morning, or actually, I guess it was this morning. We had very few penalties, and looking at like one of them was DPI, the other one was Arian Smith on special teams, like a block above the waist. So between the drops, penalties, like he's not doing himself any favors right now. And the good thing about that was, out of the penalties we did have, they weren't all offensive line. There wasn't a bunch of false starts and holding and stuff like that. And so like in that first preseason game, it was towards the end of the game. It was our backup offensive lineman, but there were a couple of penalties on the offensive line where we had a manageable down and distance, and then all of a sudden we're backing up. Like, oh, what are we doing? Now we're not even in field goal range anymore. Like, and I don't want to, get into anything negative so early in the show, but
that's good to point out though. Like the offensive line looks great as the starting unit is on the field, but then when you start bringing in those second stringers, except for maybe Inez Cooper, it gets really dicey back there. And Inez Cooper deserves a shout out. The way he's been playing, getting him in the 6th round, looking like a steal right now.
Yeah, absolutely does. And, that makes me feel a little bit better. Like if something were to happen, like Tipman has got versatility. Like people have said, oh, but Inez Cooper, he's only played right guard. He can only play right guard, but you know what? If something happens to our left guard, we could slide Tipman over there, and I think he'd do fine. So I'm not really that concerned about it. And yeah, man, particularly in the run game, I think Inez Cooper could be a mauler. So
Yeah.
I'm real happy with him, and that that bodes well for Glenn and Muji, because hitting on those late round picks, that's a good thing. Um, you know, speaking of, Azarie Thomas looks like he could end up being a starter. He was a mid round pick, and Kiko Mawanoa, dude, I think he's going to probably be better than people think. I know we didn't get to see him yesterday.
I did too.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And for any of you who were expecting me to show up in that outfit for tonight's show, I apologize. Don't mean to let you guys down, but that was all AI. That's not hanging in the closet anywhere.
Next time.
Right. Dude, I have a blast. Making the thumbnails, and that's one of the parts that I really enjoy. I mean, I enjoy everything about doing these shows, but let me see if I can find it real quick.
While you're pulling that up, to double back on the wide receiver and tight end thing, somebody else that I feel like deserves a good shout out is Tim Patrick. Having him as a wide receiver 5 feels really damn nice. You don't expect anything flashy from him. What you just want him to do is do his job, sure hands, try to move the chains when he's on the field, and then even getting involved in the blocking. He's not somebody that's going to demand the ball when he's on the field. Like, he just does his job like a veteran should. And having him at the wide receiver 5 spot feels really good. Like that wide receiver group, the way that it's looking and it's coming out to fruition, I'm really excited about it, man.
Yeah, I am too. And that could end up being a really good move for us. I know that people probably, when they saw that, were probably thinking like, it's going to be like the Josh Reynolds situation, whatever. But I really think that, having an experienced veteran guy like that for depth, and honestly, like we were talking earlier, dude, that may end up sealing the fate of a guy like Arian Smith.
Exactly.
Like that might be it for him. So we'll see what ends up transpiring there, but that could end up being really good for us. And it's going to be interesting to see how much he can contribute. So, okay, this ain't working. I was trying to add this picture, but it ain't cooperating with me right now.
It's all good.
But yeah, this coming Thursday, we're going to have Court from Court Sports coming on, and as soon as I start doing, I'm going, okay, what can I do for Court Sports show? And so I ended up making like a courtroom scene, and it's Demario Davis as the judge, and sitting there getting ready to get sentenced and sent off to jail was Malik Willis, Drake May, and Josh Allen.
That's fire. And, I like that.
They're in the jail outfits, each of their with their team colors. But dude, I just like snagged like 3 random pictures of them from online. But dude, like the bummed out like looks on their faces just ended up being perfect for that picture. I was like it was great, like Malik Willis got a look on his face like, damn, I'm really the Dolphins, Drake May has got a look on his face like, oh man, this offensive line isn't as good as I thought it was. And Josh Allen, he's just got the postseason look on his face all day long.
Like he just saw Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it after I made it and I looked at their face, I was fucking cracking up, man. I couldn't stop laughing. But
Did you get to the interceptions? Got 2 of those yesterday.
yes, dude, that was nice. And funny enough, I was just talking some smack about Andre Cisco on our last show, and here he comes with a pick. So you know what? Maybe the change in scheme will benefit him maybe more than anybody. Initially, when they brought him in, dude, he was a turnover machine in college.
Mm-hmm.
And then, prior to getting here, I mean, he had some picks and he picked off Josh Allen. He picked off Pat Mahomes. Like he wasn't just picking off guys that were bums. And so I kind of had some high expectations for him when he got here. Right. And hi there. For those of you who don't know, that would be my beautiful wife, Cheryl. And I will go ahead and dedicate this show to her. Thank you for stopping in and supporting me. That
Shout
really
out to the wife.
Hell yes. So yeah, man. Awesome.
But yeah, well, with Cisco, like I think we have 3 safeties right now on the depth chart, basically, with kind of 4. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick, Cisco, Belton, Malachi Moore. What do we do there? I don't see us keeping all 4. I want to keep at least 3.
It's going to be curious with that because, obviously Minka's going to be here.
For sure.
Belton, I think, has already earned his spot. He's looked really good, Cisco, but the thing is, Belton is probably more of a in the box, up close, kind of safety. But that's where they're playing Minka for the most part. So, I mean, and Malachi Moore, he hasn't really done a lot to separate himself thus far.
He's looking like the one on the chopping block if they do get one of them out. Yeah.
He does kind of. And I mean, and he was responsible for, some of our only turnovers last year. However, he hasn't taken another step this year. He hasn't really done anything to stand out. And that sucks. Like, I was really hoping that he would. But yeah, he just really has not done a whole lot thus far. And it bothers me because, we just drafted him a year ago. So it would really suck to see him get his walking papers that quick. But I don't know. He hasn't really done anything to stand out this far. I can't think between the preseason games and what we've seen in training camp so far, I can't think of one single play that he's made that stands out to me.
I can't either. I'm trying to see if I find him in the stat sheet at all, and I'm not really even seeing him.
I don't think so. I don't think he's really done anything. I mean, with every other player, probably Kiko, for example, when we were having our joint practices with the Bucks, there was a play where the running back kind of tried to bounce it outside, and Kiko just absolutely blew him up and fucking leveled him. And all of our guys went nuts afterwards. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I was like, you know what? We might have been a little bit too harsh, a little bit too quick to judge him. So, Belton, we've been seeing him making plays. Cisco had the pick last night. You can go through everybody, from starters to, maybe 1, 2, even 3 down the depth chart. And you can name at least one play that you've seen those guys make. When it comes to Moore, we just really haven't seen anything.
So I'm seeing that he only actually played in 1 game. I'm trying to remember which one he missed, because the one that he did play, he did get 3 tackles, but I literally don't remember any of those tackles.
Right? I don't either. And now I wonder if are those solo tackles or those assists?
It did show up as solo.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? That might have been. I don't remember seeing him at all. Was that now? Was that last night's game or was that the Tampa Bay game?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I have the stats for both games put together.
Oh,
currently.
okay,
Yeah,
all kind of lumped in together.
Yeah,
all right, gotcha.
I think I'll find it.
Dave Briga, Greg, good to see both of you guys as well. Yeah, because you know what? I'm thinking it had to be the Tampa Bay game because I watched pretty much that game last night. It seemed like in its entirety, and I don't remember seeing him at all. Now, I will admit, in the second half of that Tampa Bay game, what's a polite way to word this? I became somewhat disinterested.
That was a good way to put it.
But you know what? At the beginning of that game, I was fired up. Like, you know, I did like a watch along thing.
Oh, nice.
Which I will admit that was my first and probably last one of those.
It's tough, isn't it?
End up doing. Dude, you know what? It was rolling along pretty good, and then all of a sudden you like hit the commercials and you hit like halftime where there's just that dead time and you can't say what plays are going on and just trying to fill in that space. You know, likewise, I didn't eat anything beforehand. And so, you know, 3 hours in, I'm like, oh my God, I'm friggin' starving. Like I really should have ate before I did this. And, you know, I'm like needing the bathroom, my stomach's rumbling. And I'm like, okay, you know what? And not to mention the fact that I get pretty rowdy sometimes during the games. And
hey, you a fan? That's how it is.
Last week, I was supposed to do a show with my daughter. She ended up having to work and not being able to make it here. Mm-hmm. But, you know, when we were talking about it and talking about what we were going to discuss that night,
right?
I was like, so, you know, how does it feel knowing that you're like the sole heir to the Ricky New York legacy? And she was like I should probably see a psychiatrist. And I'm like, wait a minute now, like, the hell is that supposed to mean? And she's like, because dude, you have this abusive relationship that you just keep running back to. And, you know, you love this team to death and they just keep shitting on you and you still just can't get enough of them. It's very dysfunctional. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't necessarily look at it like that.
Yeah.
But and now I've kind of sidetracked myself and I'm trying to remember where I was going with that.
Well, I mean, she has a point because I did make a video about a year ago about being in an abusive relationship with the Jets for over 20 years and them constantly lying to me and telling me that it's going to be better next year. They'll get better. And then it doesn't really get better, unfortunately. But hey, this is the relationship I chose. I'm staying 10 toes down in it. And that's the way it is. So I did find out Malachi Moore did get those 3 tackles yesterday. Don't remember a single one. Do not remember a single one. And I watched that game with BG. We were doing the play-by-play with BG. And I know exactly what you're talking about not eating because I went into it not eating. I was lucky enough to get a plate, and I had a plate next to me that I couldn't really touch. And then, unfortunately, there was a back and forth that went on. And while that back and forth was going on, I was kind of eating. I think he told you about the situation this morning a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I don't want to say no names or anything like that, but there was a lot of yeah.
Oh yeah, like the little bit of turmoil that happened. Yeah. I don't want to call anybody out either.
No, me either. That's why I'm not.
But ironically, I kind of bumped heads with the same person one time, and like the thing is the screen name and the name when he calls in were different. And so like, dude, I've seen him a bunch of times when he's called in, but in the chat, the name, I didn't recognize it. when he was typing this one morning, and I came in, and I just like said, "Oh, hey, dude, are you new here?" And all of a sudden it was like, "Motherfucker, I've been here since the beginning," and just like went at me, and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, dude!" Like I wasn't trying to say anything.
Right.
I was just, and then when he called in, I'm like, "Oh, dude, I know exactly who you are." But that's not your name in the chat. Like, if that had been your name in the chat, I would have known immediately who you were. And I wasn't trying to say anything by it. But, dude, you know what? Some people just want to be confrontational.
Yes.
And,
unfortunately.
Dude, like, this is the thing. Like, we're all on the same side here. That's the way I look at it. Like, we shouldn't be going at each other, for whatever reason. Like, dude, we should all be sticking together now. And you know what? I've had Dolphins fans come in here. I've had Bills fans come in here, and anybody's welcome to come and watch the show. But that being said, like, anyways, I don't want to waste any more time with that. But
no, yeah, I just brought it up to say when that was happening, that was my moment to start eating, and I got lucky enough to have like a couple of minutes to just eat my plate real quick. But yeah, the play-by-plays is definitely no joke. I respect everybody that does it.
Now I remember what I was going to say about my daughter. My daughter told me one time, she was like, "Dude, you know what?" She was like, "Since the time I was in high school, anytime that there's been yelling and cussing and crazy shit going on at the house, I know that you're watching a Jets game, because that's the only time I ever have to hear it." And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Because dude, sometimes I get mad, man. Like,
that's passion, man. That's passion. When you love and care about something so much, it's just it comes out of you. It comes out of you.
Oh, dude, like, yeah. And, whether it's giving up a return to the Patriots with 3 friggin' seconds left and losing a game that we should have won, or, thinking that, we're on our way to the Super Bowl, and then Doug Bryan misses a kick. And you know what? Ironically, that's kind of karma, I think, coming back to bite me in the ass, because if you think of what happened prior to that, the couple of weeks before, we ended up winning because the Chargers kicker couldn't make a kick, and the Bengals kicker couldn't make a kick. And then all of a sudden it was our turn. And like, dude, that one, it still hurts, man. It still hurts right now.
Yeah, you have to do certain things for your mental health. And for my mental health last year, there were certain games towards the end of the season that I just chose not to tune in for, because of the way that the season was going, first of all, but also the way that those last 5 games, we had no effort in them. And I care too much about the team to watch that and not like want to break my TV.
Yeah. And the other thing is, and now, I was actually going to mention this earlier, but when people want to be critical of this team or skeptical, whatever, I get it. Dude, we went the entire season without an interception. We gave up a historic amount of points in those last games. We haven't sniffed the playoffs in more than a decade and a half. And so I get it. Like, any Jets fan who says, I'm skeptical, I am not going to buy in until they show me something, I can understand that. People that want to be critical of this coach or this organization, like, I get it. I completely do. At the same time, like, I do believe in Aaron Glenn. I believe in the changes that he's made. And, I choose to be optimistic until proven otherwise. Okay, I'm not sure what that comment means exactly, Bill.
With Adam Gaze?
Yeah, dude, like, oh, okay. I get that. Yeah, I definitely get that.
I
Dude,
still
yeah.
get nightmares of that freaking press conference of him just.
Dude, that was
Bro,
bad. That was
it was a
bad.
horror movie. Like
Uh,
you knew we were doomed from that moment there.
yeah, and you know, like it I'm not going to say what I was about to say, but yeah, that's just sooner better off forgotten. Like dude, I couldn't believe when we hired him to begin with. I knew
Yeah.
that shit was going to be a disaster, and you know, there have been other coaches along the way that maybe
That's true.
ironically, I just saw the very first pass of Marshall Manning's high school career
Oh,
yesterday
Marshall.
online. So we got another Manning in the works. But dude, you know what? Having a competent quarterback this year is going to make all the difference in the world. Okay, it already does. Just watching training camp, it's like night and day. And you know what? You know what I want for the Jets this year? I want to go all season without any kind of fucking cooking analogy. No, let Brady cook. No, let Tim boil. No,
It's gonna
none of
happen.
that.
It's gonna happen. They love a cook line. They love a good cook line.
Yeah,
Man.
I know, and that's
But
like
nobody knows how to cook.
Yeah, and that's when like, and no disrespect to him because I actually do like the player, but when people are like, "Dude, we need to get Baker," I'm like, not another cooking
Let
reference,
Baker bake.
because he's gonna get here and something's gonna go south quick. So yeah, man.
My biggest things last season that I felt like we were so deficient in that I feel like we actually solved was the competent quarterback that you're talking about. We didn't have a quarterback that was competent. Whether you think Gino's great or not, that's not the conversation. He is a competent veteran quarterback that knows how to run the system. That's a minimum of what we need. We got that with Gino. The second part was having a leading type veteran on defense. When CJ Mosley was gone, it made all the it was so apparent, right? That glaring hole right there, not just for the position that he played, but putting everyone else in the right position. So having that in Demario Davis, but then also having a second person like that and Minka Fitzpatrick towards the back. Like I love being able to have somebody towards the line and then somebody all the way in the back that's going to be able to put everybody in their right place, that's going to keep everybody level-headed, that's always going to make the right decision. Like we needed that so desperately last year. And the fact that we shored those two things up, that bodes very well for us this year.
Yeah, it does. And to take that a step further, we've got, you know, both Harrison Phillips and Onyemata up front are both guys like that as well. So we kind of have that leadership on each
Hell
level
yeah.
of the defense, which is huge. And you know what? Like initially, when, you know, Sherwood was going to take over CJ Mosley's role, that's the one thing that I said. Like, I was like, I'm not really worried about his physical ability. I'm worried about him, like, mentally. Can he be that leader? Can he be that guy that gets other guys lined up? And he couldn't, you know, and he even admitted that himself. He's kind of an introvert. He doesn't like to be the guy standing up in front of the room.
And some people are like that, which is okay.
Which, yeah, that's okay.
That's fine.
But trying to make him that guy, we kind of like tried to you know, force the square peg into the round hole.
That's
and
exactly what it was.
So yeah, I'm really glad that we have that leadership now. That's going to make a huge difference. Dude, David Bailey getting the sack last night, and holding penalties. Like, dude, there's going to be a lot of those. Trust me.
For David Bailey, what was your prediction for his number of sacks this year? That's what Boss Girl wants.
You know what?
I got him at 9 to 10 just because he's a rookie. That is towards the elite number of rookie sacks.
Yeah,
like when you're a rookie, it's hard to get more than that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to say like 8.5, 9, which I think would be a good turnout for, like you said, a rookie pass rusher.
Right.
Pass rushers don't like come in just on fire right from day one.
Right. It's tough.
You
It's
know,
tough.
certain positions take a little bit of time to develop. Uh, and that's one of them. But dude, he's good. And you know what? Uh, Led the nation in sacks last year. Will McDonald did it his last year. So we've got two guys that put them both together, and they might be the best pass rushing duo we've had in ages. Since Abraham and Ellis, which would be awesome to me.
So we did see Will McDonald get his sack last game, and then we last week, excuse me, and then yesterday we got Bailey getting his sack. And then what was impressive about his sack was against Broderick Jones, who is not a small guy at all. He's about 6'5", 310 pounds, first round pick, like 14th overall. And he just freaking ran past him basically for the most part. And to Ball Skirl's point, what's probably going to keep that number around that 8 to 10 is also because of amount of times he's going to be held, because they're not going to want him to get to that quarterback. So he's going to draw a lot of penalties as well. He's definitely going to make his impact felt on the game, whether it's a sack, whether it's a pressure, whether it's stopping the run, whether it's drawing penalties. His motor, his skill set is exactly what we needed. And I'm so glad that we got him over
Reese.
Averill Reese.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Sean, thank you. I'll go with 8 as well. Wheels up. Bailey does look like a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us. Good to see you as well. And real quick, shout out to all the people that have come over here from X, man. Like,
yes, sir.
I really appreciate all those guys and joining the channel, dude. It's awesome, when I look down and I see all the X people, interacting with the YouTube people that have been here for a long time. There's a lot of people that I talk to over there, and for whatever reason, there hasn't been as much crossover as I had hoped. It kind of seems like you got your YouTube people and you got your X people, but I was telling a couple of people on X the other day, like, dude, you don't have to call in, you don't have to get on camera or anything, but it's just like X, but except when you type, you're doing it in real time, where you don't have to wait until later that night or the next day to see if somebody responds. They respond right now, and you can actually have a back and forth conversation.
100%.
And that's what makes it cool, man, is being able to interact with the fans and having them be able to interact with each other is what makes this whole thing worth it. That's why I love doing this. That's my favorite part of it, taking calls and being able to talk to the fans and have conversations, see what they think, do they agree with me? Do they disagree with me? And let me tell you what, not everybody is as bought in on Aaron Glenn as I am. And I get that. Dude, last year was bad. Like, it was really, really bad.
It was terrible.
But you know what? What's up, Eli? And it's Victory Saturday.
Let's go.
Awesome, man.
Let's fucking go.
Dude, there ain't nothing like it. And that's right. Abraham did have 13 his second year, but dude, John Abraham was 101. Okay,
but that's the second year. I think Bailey could get 13 to 15 in his second.
Dude, you know what? He possibly could, which we got a whole nother game to do it in now.
Right.
But
right, that's true.
Dude, man, like, oh man,
he's excited.
I can't wait. And another thing, our lack of interceptions last year. Dude, we didn't have any pass rush last year.
No pass rush.
We weren't putting any pressure on the quarterbacks last year. So I think that's going to make a huge difference this year. And listen, I can't wait for week 1 because I want to see Sweat out there. I want to see all the guys out there. And listen, I think Sweat is going to be a huge addition for us. Dude, I hope that ADG does make a lot of the doubters have to apologize. I would like nothing more than to see him succeed.
I think he
And
will.
not just for me being able to say like I told you so or something stupid like that. Trust me, okay? There are some people that would rather be right than have the team be good. But you know what? I ain't fucking one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I would rather come on here every day and go, damn, was I fucking wrong? I could not have been more wrong because the team is good. As long as the team is good, that's all that matters to me. I just
Yeah.
want to win fucking games. That's all there is to it.
So I agree with that. With the AG point, I think him coming into a second year where he has a lot more of his guys where he can implement his type of style onto this defense, obviously getting the people that he likes, that he fits, that he sees fit, as well as bringing in Carl Dunbar for the defensive line and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of pieces that just fit so well together this year. And then even like Harrison Phillips that you brought up earlier, he had a really nice tackle for loss on a run on I think it was Jalen Warren. And he was talking about how he felt like he can have a career year because of having someone like a Carl Dunbar for this year as his defensive line coach. And you're seeing a lot of that. Even I understand it's preseason, 100%, but this is the only type of football we're going to see before the regular season. So you have to see something now, right? So whether it's preseason or not, the fact that you're still seeing it is a good sign, rather as opposed to not seeing it. So Harrison Phillips looked good. Bailey, I think, is going to have a really good year, but we have to keep in mind that he's a rookie. There's going to be some mistakes every once in a while. I don't want to put super high expectations like a 13 to 15 sack year or something like that in that first year. Just keep doing what he's doing. Keep bringing that motor. Keep bringing that energy. And then even if he's not the one finishing it, bringing that pressure is going to cause the quarterback to either have a bad throw or he's going to turn into Will McDonald, and Will McDonald's going to come away with the sack.
Well, even like last week on McDonald's sack, dude, Bailey and Phillips were both back there too. If McDonald hadn't gotten that sack, one of those two would have cleaned it up.
100%.
And
all three of them right there.
The other thing is we got Sweat, we got Phillips, and we've got David Onyemata. All three were ranked in the top 10 against the run.
You know who's getting slept on?
Almost a third of the guys that are in the top 10 against the run are all on our team. Fine, I'll take that all day long. I will take that all day long.
And then we also had Mozzie Smith showing some good promise yesterday too. He was getting a lot of pressure. So Mozzie Smith, somebody that was drafted highly, somebody that I believe it was from the Cowboys. The Cowboys gave up on him. Like we're getting a lot of talent from people that are AD Smith, Mozzie Smith, AD Mitchell, Mozzie Smith, and then there was somebody else that I'm forgetting right now. But like just being able to identify talent that is not being used correctly in their previous place, bringing them onto here, having a role for them, and then seeing it come to fruition.
Brownlee.
Yes, there you go. Sweat and Brownlee.
Yeah. So yeah, I completely agree, man. I completely agree. And I think having those guys, it's going to be huge. I think teams are not going to be able to run on us. And I'm looking forward to it. And like, yeah, I know Sweat needs to play to be effective, but
for sure,
dude, you know what? If not seeing him right now means that he's healthy and ready to go when the year starts, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like they know, you know. I don't know if I would go that far. I'm gonna have to say false on that one.
I will say false too, but I think it'd be close. I think it'd be close because I can see him.
You know what? Interesting question. Who do you think will lead the team in interceptions?
I think it's between Nashawn Wright and Pons. Just because the way that they played the ball so aggressively, I feel like if the ball's thrown towards them, they're going to be a lot more aggressive towards them. Maybe that might bite us in the ass sometimes, but I do think that that's going to cause a lot more interceptions, and their play styles, they're 1 and 2 for me. But as far as having someone like Cisco, who's just kind of that middle fielder that's just everywhere, yeah, I can see him also coming away with some underthrown passes, some overthrown passes because of the pressure in the quarterback's face. I could see him basically winning the lottery with some of those throws for sure.
Right on, right on. You know what? I'm going to say AZ Thomas.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
And you know what? I think that Pons might be a close second there. I do think he's going to make a big impact even as a rookie, but I'm going to go with my boy AZ. I think that he'll be the leader in that department. I'm going to go ahead and bring on a caller.
Let's do it.
And what's up, brother?
How's it going, James?
How are you doing
What's up,
tonight?
Macho? What's going on? First off, let me just preface what I'm going to say by I apologize to Hep. I apologize to certain people in the coffee club the other day. Been going through a lot. Yes, my aunt was shot in the back walking home from the grocery store. She lives in the Bronx on the East 149th Street. I guess some punk, something happened. They were doing a drive-by. She got sprayed. She got hit in the shoulder.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely sauced up, and you know, I said some things I didn't mean necessarily. However, you know, Philly Noodles, if you are watching, bro, you better watch how you talk to me because I don't play that shit. But that's neither here nor there. I do apologize for the way I came off the other night. With that being said, you boys are killing it. You guys are doing a great job. Ricky, always. Macho, keep it up, man. You're doing a really you're doing yeoman's work, bro. So let's talk about Gino going almost. What was he? 6 for 7 or 7 for 7?
7 or 7.
Technically 7 for 7. Yeah,
Technically,
he did.
right? Technically 7 for 7. He just looked the part. He just looked like he's in mid-season form. That offensive line looked nice and healthy. Gave him a nice clean pocket for that whole drive. And yeah, that was very encouraging. That was very encouraging. As far as the defense goes, bro, 2 picks. I mean, shit. I mean,
Oh, good.
come on, you know what I'm saying? Well, we had none last year, so I'll take them where we can get them. However we can get them, we'll take them. So that was super encouraging. And what I did happen to do on my way home from work today, I was sitting in traffic, and I work in the city, but I moved to Long Island, so I had a little bit of a drive, but I was in dead stop traffic, and I just watched that Bailey rush on Broderick.
Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
Bro, he took his cookies. He ate his lunch, bro. There was nothing he could do about it. There was nothing he could do. And to me, it didn't even look like it was like an extremely quick first step. It was just like, I'm just better than you. And you can't stop me. I'm going to get on your hip. And there's no way you can push me away from the quarterback. So what I saw with David Bailey was super, super exciting, and I'm really, really tantalized by that. I think that's going to open up things for Will. He's going to get double teamed all year, like we saw in the first preseason game. You know, Bailey got he got his double teams, and Will got his sack. It's going to be pick your poison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to be pick your poison. I'm not so sure about Mozzie Smith. What did he do today?
He has some pressure. I don't think he got to the quarterback to get a complete sack, but he was almost in on a half sack.
Yeah, but he had some pressure, and it's nice to see him just showing something. Period. And
yes,
but dude, yeah, that David Bailey sack, dude. That talk about shot out of a cannon. Holy shit, yeah,
dude. He just put him on his hip, and it was done. It was done. He could not stop his momentum.
Let me say this, and so, some people may want to cover their ears. You will never, ever fucking probably hear me say this again, ever, about anything. But Bill Belichick, thank you.
Oh,
thank you for making sure we didn't get Broderick Jones.
Okay, I'll take that.
That motherfucker's a bomb.
Yeah, Ricky. I wasn't sure where you were going with that. I wasn't sure where that was headed.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that.
I'll take that. I'll take
Yeah.
that for sure. I'll take that for sure. But dude, this guy, I'm telling you, man. With we saw a Harrison Phillips signing, and I think I've heard a couple people on the chat that aren't his biggest supporters or fan. But you know what I think he is? I think he's just a stud in the middle. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get some good run defense. He's going to clog up some holes. He's going to take on some double teams. And that's going to open up things for Briggs and other players. So, dude, I'm super excited about everything I saw. I know it's early. I know it's preseason. We can't get too in our bag. But to say that you weren't impressed the other night, I think you're playing yourself a little bit. I think it was a very impressive performance. I know it's only the preseason, but I think there was a lot of shit to be excited about. The Geno and AD connection. How about Geno rolling out and G Dubs loves to make these sliding catches to where he's not getting hit. He's not getting hit. He's just he slide right on his knees.
Flashy.
Right. So he's not going to take those hits. I was just excited about everything. And Cade, to me, man, fuck. What can you say about this kid, bro? Like, for me, for my dollar, I know it's too soon. I think he could be the real deal, bro. Did you see that one throw to Isaiah Williams on the boundary when it went right in between the defender's hands, and I think it was Isaiah's hands. Am I wrong on that? Was it Isaiah Williams?
I'm trying to remember.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I believe so.
Remembers. Okay. I don't
that
remember.
Thing went right through both of their hands to where you couldn't have placed the ball any more perfect if you tried. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
He had some great throws, and he had a good scramble too for 16 yards.
But you know what, dude? Macho, that's his game, bro, which a lot of people don't realize. He could scoot.
Yeah.
He can scoot, and it's an underrated part of his game. When when he's rolling out, if you noticed on the play, he kept two hands on the ball, ready to throw it, and once he saw his opening, boom, he took it and he took off. So I'm excited about the kid. I'm excited about Geno. I'm excited about everything. Maybe I'm jumping off the ledge too quick.
No, get excited.
But I was just very impressed by the whole team performance. How about this guy, fucking Lynn? Where did he come from?
Lynn was going crazy.
Where did this guy come from, bro?
Yeah, he was looking like Maury Bamba from week 1.
He was looking like Maury Bamba.
Yeah, he was going.
Yeah, bro. He was doing everything. He was pulling off the spin. He was doing a straight bull rush, a speed rush.
Yeah.
He was about it. So, I think that's a testament to where this defense is going, to where this team is headed, and you can tell. And if you can't, you don't know football. That Frank Reich is the leader of this offense, and you can tell he is running this shit the way it needs to be run, bro. Yeah, I feel like all that little screen pass that thank God that K didn't get picked off. But if that thing hit, that's a home run. Isaiah Williams taking that thing to the house. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. So
I will say Isaiah Williams did have a fumble, which I didn't like.
I know.
That sucked to see. But other than that, I'm very excited about Isaiah Williams.
Yeah, I am
progressing
too.
well.
And it's not like hope like it's been some years. It's confidence, man. Like I'm confident in the guys we brought in. I'm confident in the way that this thing is looking. Like, dude, I think that and I've said this a million times, having guys like Osai and Enigbari is going to be such a step up from the Michael Clemens and the fucking bums that we
The
used to
Michael
have.
Clemens, Jesus Christ.
God,
Thank you to the
stupid
Colts.
penalties, the bad
Yeah.
play. Like there isn't going to be like now when we rotate personnel, we're not going to have this massive drop off. Like we're going to be, able to be
Absolutely.
consistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think to answer somebody's question earlier about the last time we had two receivers that were like that, it would have been Brandon Marshall and Decker.
Technically, when
I
we
don't
had
know if
Devontae
AD's going to have
Adams,
900 yards. I mean, my prediction.
Devontae, yeah, we did have Devontae and
G5
Garrett,
Devontae, yeah.
but I don't know, man. Devontae was, when he was here, what was he, 31?
Yeah,
He was still good. I mean,
He
last year
was still
32.
balling, and he's still balling. He's still
Yeah.
balling. Let's get that straight. But bro, AD Mitchell, man, he knows how to tap those toes on that boundary, bro.
dude, that was a fucking nice catch on the
Dude,
sideline.
that was a fucking catch and a half, dude. He is the real fucking deal, bro.
Hell
And
yeah.
between him, Garrett, Mason, I've been listen when he came out, my guy was the Colts guy, right? I admitted it. I pounded the table for him. I wanted him, but Mason Taylor is a legitimate number one tight end in this league in the next few years. He's big, he's fast, he's sturdy, he's a good blocker, he's smart, he's got the pedigree. Forget about his father. Let's not forget about his uncle, who's Zach Thomas. And if you don't think that plays a part, you're silly. That's a huge, huge thing. And I think that we're only headed up from here, boys. Again, I want to apologize for my actions the other night, going through something else besides with my aunt. So I apologize. I was wrong about that. And keep up the good work, guys, and we'll talk soon, bro.
All right, man. Thank you, James. Thanks for calling in, bro.
He gone. But I'm glad that he did that.
Yeah, I am too. And I got a couple more callers now. AD, good to have you with us.
Wide receiver
Can't see
too.
you.
Hey, I was trying to get my camera together. I didn't know you were gonna bring me up right away. So I was just trying to get my camera together. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You want me to pop you in the back for a minute until you get it going?
Switch.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, right on. And Yeti, man, what's up, brother?
What up, man?
Nah, how you guys doing?
Doing
Good,
great,
man.
man. We got a win yesterday.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
17-0. Who would have thought that? I mean, we know it's really 7-0, but I mean 17-0. That's crazy, right?
No, I like that last touchdown. They should have never called the timeouts. We were trying to kill the clock. They wanted to call timeout, and they got what they got for them. Oh, there we go.
There we go, man.
There we go. But yeah.
Looking smooth tonight.
How y'all feeling, man?
Gentlemen.
I love it when we get a full house and we can have a nice conversation going, man.
Hey, Johnny boy, call up. Just don't talk about the Knicks.
Good shit.
Orange and blue skies, baby. Orange and blue skies.
Speaking of which, Johnny Boy is in my fantasy league along with Clancy and a couple other people from the community, which we do draft defensive players now, but we do have one slot open this coming year. So anybody that's interested, reach out to me. We do have one spot open. So.
Send me the format. I might be interested.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
What's
I definitely will.
What's a buy-in?
There's no buy-in. It's just free.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Back when it started, it was $100 buy-in. And I actually didn't run the league back then. A friend of mine did. And when he decided that like he couldn't do it anymore because of his job, I ended up taking it over. And shit, we've had this. Oh my God. Like, dude, I can't even remember. It's probably been over 30 years. Like this league has been going on. It's been going on a long time.
Dude, that's crazy to think about. Fantasy football has been going on for 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
Dude, I had Barry Sanders on one of my teams when I first started. I've had Edgerrin James on a team back in the day.
Were you keeping score by hand at that point?
Yes.
Dude, you know what? We
No,
back then
exactly.
we actually would have to like wait for our results to come in the mail, but we'd be out like buying the newspaper the next day and like counting up the stats and trying to figure it ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was a
Good
long
old
fucking
days.
time ago. And dude, I remember when I won my very first championship. It was when LaDainian Tomlinson had the touchdown record for running backs that year. Fucking
Love
LT had that insane year. That was my first time winning a championship. So, dude, yeah, we've been doing this. We've been doing this thing a long time.
Absolutely.
You know, once in a while, I would scout some guy that like was a rookie that I thought was going to be badass. That would be one of my guys. And I'll tell you right now, Sean Taylor, every single year of his life was on one of my fantasy teams. That was one of my guys that I scouted. And dude, if he had lived, I think he probably would have been the best safety any of us had ever seen. Shame what happened to him. But yeah, man. At any rate, back to the Jets. Like, dude, I'm stoked about this. I predicted A.D. Mitchell would have 843 yards, 8 touchdowns. It could end up being more than that. Who knows? But I'm so fired up for him.
Yeah, AD Mitchell looks good, man. AD Mitchell looks good. The fact that we have a nice rotation to where, I mean, at first it was like, who's going to be our number 2? I think AD kind of put that to rest. The fact that the question is now, who's the number 3? That just feels good. To like know that we have those two locked up. Know we have Mason Taylor, Sadiq coming off injury soon. Like, it just feels good, man.
Dude, I like the fact that Isaiah Williams is not just going to roll over and let the rookie take that spot.
Yep.
I love the fact that him and Cooper are going to compete for that.
Make him work for it.
Absolutely.
Macho, well said, dude. Like, really well said. Like, a battle between 3 and 4. That's cool, right?
It's a great problem to have for us. Like, our problems are normally who's our number 2, who's going to be our quarterback. The defense has 17 holes in it. Like, I feel really good. The biggest issue that I really have right now on this team is the depth for the offensive line. Like that part scares me to where depending on who it is gets hurt.
I'm with you. Linebacker. So I think we'll all probably say the same things, but yeah, offensive lineman, linebacker, and still kicker bugs me. So those are my 3 concerns. But I'm happy with this team, dude. Like for what we're expecting this year, I'm happy.
Dude, is that true? Did Harrison Butker just kick a 69-yard fucking field goal and make it?
There must have been wind.
Yeah, with the win.
I'm not going to stop what I'm doing for that.
No, you could believe it. The kickers today are kicking on average 63, 64. That's absolutely believable.
Yeah.
The kicker.
By the way, love the AD name.
It's a play on my initials, actually.
Oh, right
you got me here. You got me here, Ricky. I'm a fan of the show. I wanted to say, you know, I really like your even keel way. I'm always in the chat. Well, not always, but I pop in even when I'm not listening. But I was trying to head out, and you just got my goat when you started talking about 04 and. I just want to say to the fans and so forth, I've been a Jet fan for over 40 years. Okay. It's not much I haven't seen. You know what I mean? And I know fans have a voice and an outlet now and so forth, but I've seen worse times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen worse times, and to hear and to see some, certain people and trolls and just kind of trying to feel good if the team goes bad. Who the hell wants another top draft pick?
Not from us.
The only way I want a top 5 pick is if it belongs to the Colts, the Packers, or the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And dude, I agree with you. Like there was that year. My memory's not the greatest, but when Herm Edwards was our coach, and I remember we had signed Donnie Abraham, the former Tampa Bay corner, and dude, like probably over a third of our defense was injured and out by like week 4 or 5. It seemed like the whole fucking team got hurt that year, and the year was just a wash before it even got going. Like I've and there have been some years where, like, just going into the year, I was like, yeah, we ain't gonna be good this year. But you know what? I don't feel like that now. So
no, and you shouldn't, and you really shouldn't, because Jerry Glanville once, he had the greatest phrase ever. He said the NFL stands for not for long.
mm-hmm.
It was true then, it's true now, it'll be true in the future. AG and Muji could have gotten axed.
Yep.
After the first year. Because that's what the patience level is throughout the NFL. No one has time for you to figure it out. And that's just not football.
Yeah.
It's just not football.
Yeah, guys, think about this. Maybe 7 years ago, Josh McCown was our starting quarterback.
I don't want to think about that.
Dude, I remember years where I went, okay, maybe Bryce Petty can be the guy. Like, I mean, I've seen some shit over the years. So, but this ain't that.
McCown was going to be the quarterback in like June, or probably June or July. And we're like, shit, this is our guy. This is what we have to watch. And that happened. And we watched a whole season of that. And God bless that guy, dude. He played okay. I mean, given the roster he had, I think maybe Crowder was his best receiver. I think Crowder was on that team. But,
dude, like, I've seen us roll out like Chancey Stuckey and I've seen it.
Cool. Like, we're happy about that. Like,
but you know what? Going off of what AB said, like, the NFL is the ultimate production-based business. That's all there is to it. Like you could have been the best player in the league last year, but what are you doing right now? Yep. Like things can change overnight. So I definitely agree with that thought.
I want to say shout out to Mark Scaschetti, because he actually got to see a Jets Super Bowl. Fan since 67. Shout out to you, bro. I am jealous.
He's been around longer than Rick.
He got to witness it,
God bless, and
he got to witness it.
I was 1 year old when we won the Super Bowl, so I don't remember it. I've watched it a bunch of times, but I certainly don't remember it when it happened.
And that's been the organization's problem, is that Broadway Joe is still the face of the franchise.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
kind of.
Yeah, that is kind of part of the problem. We need to
face of the franchise.
What we need to do is we need to make a new legacy right now. Like,
but the only way to do that is winning.
Yes, absolutely.
We need to start winning some damn games. I was like, we're starving to put anyone there as the face of the franchise. We just need somebody to actually get us there. Once we get us there, no matter who it is, like if Justin Fields was good last year, he could have been there. Like, I don't care who it is, as long as you get us to win. But obviously, Justin Fields was absolute trash.
Yeah, but dude, listen, let me tell you what. I've seen a lot of bad things as a Jets fan. I remember Zach Wilson and going, God damn, man, like, why is every other quarterback in the league throwing for 300 yards? This guy can't get over like 160, 170 in a game. And then last year happened where we had a bunch of games we didn't even hit 100. We had one game where we actually had negative passing yards. I don't know if I've ever fucking seen that in my life, a team having negative passing yards. That was just beyond me. And
that was like week 2.
That Denver game where he just wouldn't throw the ball and he just stood back there and got hit over and over and over again. I'm like, do these coaches not see this? Like, this kid is having some kind of fucking mental breakdown right now on TV. Like, I'm concerned for his mental health. I'm concerned for his physical health. Get him the fuck out of there. And later, AG even admitted had Tyrod been healthy, he would have pulled him. But like, man, that was bad. Hopefully, I never have to watch anything like that again.
But that was, and don't get me wrong, I'm a supporter of AG because I believe that you got to give a coach room to grow. But that was him coming in and feeling overconfident.
He did.
Like,
I
can come in and I can put this with this and that with that, and I can take Salah's players and I can throw my system in around. And no,
he knew there was no other option at that point. Like, what do you throw Brady Cook in? Like, what do you do?
You shouldn't have signed Fields in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. But at that point, man, sorry, I'm outside. I got a bunch of trucks driving by.
You're good.
There was nobody out there. So Fields was.
There wasn't, and Fields did seem like the best option at the time. And prior to getting here, he hadn't had that kind of mental issue that he had when he was here, crying in the closet and fucking afraid to throw the football and just all that weird shit. Like, and it figures he waits till he gets here to have a mental breakdown.
Ricky could never throw the ball.
Yeah. The one thing that made him even playable was his running ability, and when he refused to run, like he was just fucking worthless.
He literally had 4 games with under 100 yards of passing. Like that is not under 100, under 60 yards of passing.
Under 60,
4 games. Yeah,
that's
I remember that.
Yeah, like this is disgusting.
And remember, like a year or maybe 2 before. Oh yeah, because we had Rodgers. But Zach put up a half with 2 yards, and we were all talking shit about that. That was 4 years ago or 3 years ago now. No, yeah, 4. It was 4 years ago. Zach put up a half with 2 yards, and we're like, oh my god, blah 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 blah. And then 2 years later, we get Fields putting up these stats. And that's like what we deal with. And we had Rodgers in the interim, but still, like we all saw what happened. Like Rodgers didn't help. Nothing helped. Like it's just bad offense and not a lot of thought put into what we need. Like building from the depth up. Like we can't just sign a bunch of stars and throw them on the squad. And
and the other thing is I think that AG looked at this roster and what they accomplished, like when Salah was here, and he judged them by what he saw on film, but he didn't know them as people. He didn't know the personalities. And so when things started going bad, all of a sudden his team captains, the guys that were supposed to be leaders, Quinnen and Quincy, like they all just fucking quit on him. And I don't think he was ready for that shit. I think he got a real rude awakening. I think he was cocky. He was overconfident. And when he got here, I think he thought like, oh, I can just tweak a couple of things and we're almost there. And then when he saw that mentality in person, he was like, oh shit, you know what? This is a lot worse than I thought. I'm going to have to tear this thing down to the fucking studs.
I don't blame him for being cocky. Like imagine any of us can take over the Jets. He was.
Kevin, what's up, man? Yeah. So I mean, you know what? I'll admit it. I probably that's what I could have done the job with that roster.
Here's my legacy. I can do this. Like I can build this up, and I can be Aaron Glenn, and I like the best coach in Jets history.
But there's a way. But there's a way to do it.
Yeah, I'm a PJG.
You can't.
I'm not dissing him in any way.
No, I'm not dissing him neither. But you can't come in. You can't come in being Parcells before you get to Parcells.
Well, you know what?
That was a part of his problem. Look at him now versus a year ago. Way more comfortable.
Yes, confident.
Way more confident. Just everything doesn't have to be, adversarial. You're not going to win that battle in New York.
Yeah, it feels
let me throw in one thing real quick, and Devin, I'll let you chime in with this too. You know what? Rex came in like that, but you know what? We were winning fucking games. You can talk that talk if you can back it up. He didn't back it up, man. At the end of the day, we got to win games. Devin, what's up, man?
Fully agree. What's up, brother? How you doing, Ricky?
Good, man. It's good to see you, man.
I was
love
just
this,
loving
man.
the
We got
discussion,
a nice, good,
brother.
full panel going on.
Yeah, man. I was appreciating everything, man. ED, I appreciate the input, man. Hey, Macho, what's going on, brother? It's been a minute since I checked in with you. I think I was on with you with some other show with somebody else, but
possibly. How you doing though?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. How you fellas doing tonight, man? Everybody doing all right?
Doing good.
It's Ricky. Ricky got us started with his nonsense. Ricky.
I love Ricky, man. I love Ricky's positivity, brother.
Yeah,
he's always amazingly positive, and I always love it, man.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted to check in, man. I was listening to you fellas, right? And I'm listening to how everybody was talking about, which points I agree with, but I was thinking about like maybe we should look at a little deeper. So everybody was talking about how the D-line was doing real well last night, right? Like, which they were, right? And so even to talk about last year, Mozzie couldn't do anything, but this year he's in preseason and he is like putting in some work. And I just think that goes to the coaching, right? Like we have to think about that, right? Like that, our D-line coach is like, yo, he is an amazing dude, man. Like to hear, like, yeah, exactly, Macho. To hear Phillips when Phillips was talking about him, to like, yo, this guy could push me and take me to another level. Like to understand that, like. Yeah. I think people don't really comprehend what that means, to see we pitched and the other thing that people want not really, of course you don't give credence because it's the Jets, but like last week, Aller and Howard, they were lighting stuff up last week. They come in this week against us, and they can't say they were going against our ones, you know what I mean? Maybe Howard was in the beginning, but like, okay, 1 shut you down, 2 shut you down, 3 shut you down. Like, so, coaching all around. And I love the mentality that we have. If like the next man comes in, because you see the next guy comes in and he might like the talent level might be like not as high as the previous player, but that effort is all in, man. And I love that, man. I love to see on both sides of the ball, like all these guys are fighting, man. And like, I think that speaks like the other thing, like, I'm a big AG truther, so I'm gonna let it be known like that's cool, whatever. Because I love the fact that he's mine. Like he grew up, he was born and bred. This is dude that knows the suffering. He knows that, you know what I mean? He went through a 1 in 15 season. Like this is a dude that's been through it. You know what I mean? So he understands the fire and the passion that we have. Like he talks about like. Right, man. He lived through that. You know what I'm saying? But then he came back and he got him. But but the thing like. The thing like nobody's really talking about, like the fact that like everybody on this team, like every time I listen to any player on either side of the ball talk about their head coach, they talk about their head coach in admiration and wanting to get the job done for him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I just think like we have an opportunity to where our team is going to be able to be like do some amazing things this year, man. And like I'm not putting any ceiling on anything, bro. I'm not putting any ceiling on anything. I feel like David Bailey is a stud, and I know I'm saying a lot. I feel like David Bailey is a stud, baby. Think about this dude. And the thing that people don't also I know, like people say Will can't do against he's weak against the run. Okay, I will take his weakness against the run because when you get in a passing situation to have him and Bailey on the edge. And then, up the middle, you know what I'm saying? Have Sweat coming up the middle and with Briggs. Like, can you imagine, like, Briggs and Sweat together? Like, I don't think people are really conceptualizing the fact that, like, what we have, not to mention the other edges that we have. Like, I just think our defense is going to be amazing this year, like, way better than people think it is going to be. I said a lot. I'm going to let you guys give a little feedback on that.
We're not 13-4 yet, but we're on the way.
Really
quick, I'm going to interject. Hep, you weren't here earlier, but James came on the show earlier. He was my first caller, and he was sober, and he had an apology for you. and he apologized to everyone. But
Yeah, you might want to rewind it.
An apology.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might.
Yeah, that was
And
big
then
on
come
him.
back.
That was big on him.
But I wanted to pass that along.
You know, it's a real sign of a man that's able to say when he's wrong. You know what I mean? Like you're a real man to do that. So I give James a lot of respect for that, man. Like, you know what I mean? To be like to come on and say you was wrong. You know, I was wrong last year about Justin Fields. I had a jersey and everything.
Me too.
Lord,
I was this
wrong
close
about
to a
that.
jersey. I'm glad I didn't commit.
Yeah, you know what? I did. Probably
In the off season.
What did you see? This is not track and field.
Bro,
Yeah,
no.
you know what?
The thing is, the
he was
talent
starting,
is there. Like if you look at I looked at the Pittsburgh games when he was starting. Like if you just simplify the game for him, the problem is if you won't throw the ball, like no one can make you throw the ball. Dudes are wide open. Like
the other problem is the Pittsburgh game. He had like 6 weeks to prepare for. So of course in that game he's great, but then every week when you have only a week to prepare for, you see it crumbles. He doesn't know what the hell to do.
Gino's not going to be that guy. Gino's not that.
Once the owner came out and dropped the gauntlet,
yeah,
it was over.
That was bad. That's a bad look.
That was after.
That was not good. That was not good. I agree 100%.
No. That's 100%. It. That's the.
No, I feel you. I'm agree with you. But you know what? Was he wrong?
No. You see, but this has been the problem.
That's one of the things.
But he wasn't wrong though.
No.
Like I'm not a big Woody. I think we killed Woody for a lot, and rightfully so. But there's certain things like if Woody told AG to run the playbook this year, to like run the defense, I'm gonna respect him for that because I think that was the right thing to do. If Woody said last year you sucked,
look.
Guess what? Did you see? Like, I don't know if anybody. I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. If I saw Justin Fields play in his last game with Kansas City, he looked like straight trash, bro. He looked like straight trash. I was watching that. I was at the restaurant or whatever, and I was watching him play. I'm like, yo, this dude looks terrible.
He'll be out the league soon.
We don't need to hear from Woody. We need to hear from Woody two times a year.
So yeah, I'm in the middle.
We need to hear from Woody in the summer, okay? And we need to hear from Woody at the end.
I'm gonna tell you this though.
Anything else is undermining his people.
Yeah, I don't think he was right for what he said. It's just he shouldn't have said it. Like that shouldn't be coming out from him.
I'm not gonna dispute that, but I'm just saying like. Sometimes we gotta, you know what? I'm thinking about it like this. If I was the owner of the New York Jets, y'all would hate me. Y'all would hate me. Because
but would we win?
You know what's funny?
But one thing you would know for sure, I would be putting every bit of energy into letting y'all know what I'm doing to help y'all to win.
Then we love you.
You know what I mean? And so, but I think we have to be patient too, man. Like we're not patient enough as fans, and I understand. Like, this drought, 15 years.
Yeah,
like
you can't say patience with the Jets. It's
I understand that, but again, what's the alternative? There's no alternative to not being patient. Like even if you want to get, think about it this way. Even if you say like I'm done with this year, let this year be crap, right? Okay, so you still got to go through 17 games of this year. Let AG be fired. Go through a hiring process, wait for them to possibly keep the GM or not keep the GM, go through that whole process, and then hope that the person that they hire, because there's no absolute guarantee that we'd hire the right person, right?
Nope.
Like there's no guarantee that Mike Tomlin says, okay, I'm gonna come in and take this job, because guess what? Him and AG is boys. You only gave my boy 2 years. So what you think I'm gonna come in here for? No, I'm not coming in there to help y'all out. And then people are gonna be like, another defensive head coach, da. So dude, we got to be patient. We have no alternative. I don't see an alternative to not being patient. Like,
yeah, I agree with that. And you know what's funny is like back in I think it was 2013, our fan club here, we were all getting together. Everyone was going to a game, and then I found out that Woody Johnson was going to be stopping by our tailgate, and so like I'm there like early ass in the morning, and you know me, I'm smoking, debating, smoking some more, and ironically, somebody we were talking and people were saying like, oh, you know, Woody's always meddling and getting involved in shit and this and that, and I was fucking really baked. And then next thing I know, I turned around and he was standing there, and I was trying to think of something to say to him, and I don't know why I did it, but I was just like, so what do you think about the fans all complaining about how you meddle all the time? And fucking and he kind of fucking laughed, and he was like, honestly, I wish I knew enough to meddle the way that people think that I do, but I honestly, I just hire the best football people that I can, and I trust them to run it. And dude, I'll tell you what, I talked to him for only got to talk to him for a few minutes, but he wants this team to be good. He wants this team to win. He does care. That being said, he was a very quiet, kind of socially awkward guy. Like, dude, Woody ain't out hitting the club scene on the weekends. I'll tell you that. He seemed like a very sheltered dude that grew up with money and is, but doesn't have like, he ain't a people person. Let's just leave it at that.
Most rich people aren't.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't know how to relate to average. Like,
I believe that he does want the team to win. That's never my thing with him. My thing is, I don't think he is able to do it. Like, and that doesn't mean he's not a good person. That doesn't mean he doesn't care about the Jets. I just don't think he even said it himself to you. I don't know enough to meddle, but he does still meddle sometimes. So the fact that you don't really know what you're doing, but you still try to put your hand in the pot sometimes, it's just something about Woody Johnson I don't trust.
I think Woody let them play though. Woody let the GM and the head coach do their thing. He doesn't intervene right away. It's not like
the quarterback thing. I mean,
you know
yeah, I think once things start to go really fucking south, he'll fucking step in, and he doesn't always do it the right way, whatever. But dude, when he first bought the team, I mean, we were in the playoffs 6 out of the first 10 years that he owned the team. But Todd Bowles did not work out. You know what? Todd Bowles is a perennial playoff team every year with the Bucks. But the GM that he was paired with here, just things did not work out. The Adam Gase thing was a complete fucking shit show. And you know what? Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas, while it started out good, those were two dudes that couldn't admit they made a mistake. Like, fucking, they were going to try to force Zach Wilson to be good no matter what, because they didn't want to admit that they made the wrong fucking call. And they held on to him way too long. And as good as Joe Douglas was, like, say, with the Garrett and Brees and Sauce draft and stuff, like, he was awesome in the fucking off season. But then once fucking week 1 happened, he did nothing. Like, in the season, there were no fucking trades, there were no moves, there were no nothing. It's like when week 1 got done, he thought his job was over with until the following year's fucking draft.
Yeah.
He was a so general manager. And he got here with the reputation of being a former offensive lineman that knew how to draft offensive line talent. Okay, you invest in Rodgers, and look who his starting left tackle was. You wonder how he got hurt.
Yeah, fuck it. And you know what? I think that has been a big part of the Jets' problem for a long time. Instead of drafting and developing our own guys, we tried to bring in all the big names from the other teams. I mean, we've brought in Brett Favre, LaDainian Tomlinson. We brought in all these guys, Tyron Smith, all at the end of their fucking careers, man. Yeah. Like, you know, we need to stop getting these ancient fucking retreads. We need to draft and develop.
I like LT though.
Dude, and you know what's crazy about that too, Ricky? Yo, think about this. We got almost $100 million this year, right? And we got a bunch of young players. Like, what do they count? They would count like there was like 33 or something like that, players that are under the age of like 24 or something like that. Like that's sick. And we're and think about where we're at in terms of like how we feel about our team. Like at least for me, I feel like I'm very optimistic.
Hey,
you know what I mean? And I feel like we could continue to make improvements.
Gents, I've got to run, man. It was great hanging out with y'all, man. We'll do it again.
Right on.
Definitely
It was awesome
meeting
having you here. Fucking AD,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Make sure you call in again sometime. It was great talking to you.
Absolutely, brother.
Take care, bro.
All right, man. Yeah, that was awesome, man. Fucking great to have him call in. Great to have all of you call in, man. Yeti, I talk to you all the time. Devin, it's good to talk to you again. But yeah, man, I think we've just misfired. We've gone about this the wrong way, but I like what we're doing now. I like that we're drafting our own guys and developing them. And again, I'm really confident in the way this team is going right now. And it's funny because like everybody wants to, you know, or not everybody, but there's a lot of people that want to give Muji all the praise and Glenn all the blame. But you know, so I can't remember who it was, and it doesn't matter because I don't want to call out anybody, you know, from another show or from the chat or anything. But there was somebody that called in one day, and I remember who it was now, and I'm not going to say his name, but said, you know, we fucked up because what we should have done was traded away whatever we needed to get Tanner McKee because he would have been the answer because he comes from Philadelphia and they're a quality program that knows what they're doing.
Trade a second for
Philadelphia
him, right?
tried to hire Frank Reich. He turned him down. He came here instead because he knew Aaron Glenn. They were both former Jets. They knew each other and had a relationship. And a lot of these coaches that we got, Carl Dunbar, Frank Reich, those are all connections that AG has made over his time in the league.
Yeah, Ricky, think about that. I'm going to cut you off, but think about that, what you just said, Ricky.
The great organization, then why did they try to hire Frank Reich? And yet you're saying that he's a bum. And then likewise, I had somebody else on another show telling me that, you know, Sean Payton is a fucking genius. If he was the Jets coach, we would have been in the playoffs last year. And I'm thinking not with the players we had here, but I'm like, and I was like, you know what? Obviously, Sean Payton is a genius. Look how long he had Aaron Glenn on his staff and how close the two of them are. And the guy was just like, I didn't know what to say to me. so like, it's funny, man. But I agree. I think we got one of the best general managers in the league right now. And you know what? That was a guy that before he got hired, most people didn't even know who Darren Muji was. Glenn brought him in here, and he's been very good. He's been very good at finding guys that fit Glenn's system and what Glenn likes to do. And I think those two are, you know, more Batman and Robin. I think they're more attached at the hip than most people want to admit. But I like that. I like that whenever they talk to Muji, it's like, look, me and Glenn talk every day. We constantly talk about our vision for this team and how we want to build it. And so, you know what? We win 9 games, and I could see that. I don't know if I want to jump out there on that limb.
I think playoffs is the only way, and I want it. I don't know if it's this year.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna to go quite that far this year. I think we're going to be substantially better. I think we're going to be competitive from week to week. I think we're going to be better than a lot of people think. I think we're going to win more games than a lot of people think. And I'm all for it, man. You know what? We roll around to next year and we end up drafting our franchise quarterback. Let Cade compete with him. Give him a shot. You know what? Let the young guy and Cade and fucking Gino, if he returns, all compete, man. Competition just makes guys better. And so I still think that we're probably a year away from the playoffs. But that being said, I think we're going to have a good year this year. And
what do you think keeps us from the playoffs, Ricky?
dude, I want to celebrate wins with all you guys. Everybody that's on the screen right now, everybody that's in the chat, everybody on X, I want to fucking celebrate some wins with you guys. And I've said it before. In this era of YouTube Jets content, we have never had a postseason game. Nobody was doing YouTube content like this when Rex was the coach. We haven't seen playoff football in the YouTube era. But you know what? It's fucking coming, and I can't wait, man. I cannot wait to have postseason football to celebrate with all of you.
Hey, dude, I'm just gonna be happy if we lose 20 or 28 to 34 or 28 to 35, something like that. If we're in the game in December, I'm gonna be happy with that. And if it's a relevant game, I'm gonna be happy with that. After 3-14, there's not much that's really gonna piss me off this year.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen.
Hey, Ricky, let me ask you this: if you don't think we're a playoff team this year, what is it that we need to be? What is it we need to do, or what positions we need to be improve on, or maybe it's coaching, in order for you to believe that we'll be a playoff team? Is it like quarterback? What is it that you believe that keeps us from being a playoff team this year?
I think that I think for one, I think we're going to probably end up having to either wait on the development of AZ and Pons or do some things to shore up that secondary. I think we need like a real true playmaker in the deep middle at that safety position, because I know Andre Cisco had a pick last night, but I don't think he's the long-term answer there.
What about Dane Belton?
I think we need to upgrade at center. I think that we need probably a long-term answer at linebacker after DeMario's done, which, dude, I know that he's been good for a long, long time, but I don't know how many more years he's got in him. I know that the cerebral part of his game makes up for the age to a certain extent.
But we need it for this year, right? We need those things for this year.
Yeah, they would help this year. And that's what I think is going to prevent us from being a playoff team this year. So, like I said, I think those are the things that we need to do. And I wouldn't mind an upgrade at center either. Like DeMario is the captain of the defense. Your quarterback is the captain on offense. But the center is kind of like the captain of your offensive line. He calls out the protections. He gets the guys in the right spot. And I just don't know that Josh Myers is that guy. When we were really good, we had Kevin Mawai. We had Nick Mangold. You know what? Just because Myers' name begins with an M, he ain't either one of them fucking guys.
Yeah, it takes more than that. For me,
Yeah.
I think it's being – obviously, we have AG for a second year, but it's still a first year for everyone else around him. It's a new offensive system, new defensive system. Yes, we're bringing a lot of players in from last year as well, but it's still a lot of stuff that everyone's going to have to learn. There's a lot of chemistry that's going to have to be learned. I envision there's going to be some mistakes. I just think it's going to be tough to get it all right within the first year. But what does bode well for this year that didn't bode well for last year, and you were kind of touching on it earlier, where it's like everyone seems more bought in on AG's system. Everyone seems more bought in on the Jets in totality, where there was a lot of people with a foot out and a foot in last year. They identified that. They got those people out of here. So I think the team is better, and I think that everyone being bought in is going to be – and you see it even in the preseason, how hard people are playing, whether there's second stringers or third stringers, playing their asses off, and that's part of believing in the person that's coaching you. So I think all that bodes well for us, but just understanding that everything's within the first year and how hard it is to just make that jump, I think that's going to probably be our downfall. But that doesn't mean we have a bad year. We could still win 7 or 8 games. I just think that the playoffs is too much expectation to put in the first year, but I'm hoping for it for sure.
Bro, I think our D-line is special.
Dude,
Our D-line is special.
Would make me happier, but like I said, I still think we're maybe a year away from that. Now, I in the beginning I was saying 7 games. Now I'm thinking more like 8, 9. Dude, I'll tell you what. And I know it's only preseason, but I gotta say, without Micah Parsons, without Rashawn Gary, Packers pass rush is non-existent, and you saw what that did to us last year. So, hey, you know what?
If we go into Tennessee and put a whoop beat down there,
Packers probably top 12 pick. You know what? We may end up having the worst draft pick our own.
I hope so.
We have.
I hope so.
That's what I. Yeah. You want to know what I want? I want us to have the worst draft pick out of those 3.
Yep, that's what I want too, Ricky. That's exactly what I want.
I think if we do make the playoffs,
man, I don't know, Macho. The thing that I keep coming back to, and I'm a freaking Jets color glasses dude on whatever you want to call me, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm optimistic in that regard. But I just think about it from the perspective of as I look at all 3 levels of offense, all 3 levels of defense, like what prevents us talent-wise from being a playoff team this year against looking at the talent that goes up against the players in our division. Now I'm gonna disregard them. I'm gonna disregard the fish because they're terrible. If we can't beat the fish twice, that's a problem, right? Mm-hmm. Then you look at I'm gonna go to New England next. All right, you can New England like New England. Their offensive line is terrible. So against our defensive line, that's a problem for them. So I like that win, which is forces Drake May to make bad passes, which then Minka's going to be back there in our secondary, getting those boys lined up in the proper position to play. Like Buffalo has never given Josh Allen any receivers. So if you don't have receivers, and what we do have is the ability to lock them down, and you don't really have any good receivers in Buffalo.
They got DJ Moore this year.
But he's not that great though. Like he's not amazing, but he's good. That's what I'm saying, bro. You don't think I'm afraid of DJ Moore? You don't think that? I give him respect. You give him respect. You give him respect, but you're like, I'm not afraid of that, right? But if that's the best that you got, based on what we got in our secondary, like why can't we get a split there? You know what I mean? Like, so I just look at it like realistically. I guess people could say like AG sucked at coaching last year, but the role that he's doing this year is not the same as last year. And to have a offensive coordinator, the likes of Frank Wright, that you can clearly see from when Klubnik was in the offense starting last week, and when Gino's in there this week, like things are hitching. He's got a plan for every down and distance, right? And so to have an offensive coordinator like that, that means that he's gonna. One of the biggest things that we've had great defensive, but we've not been able to score points in the past. So we're imagining being able to score points now because we have weapons, and they're just gonna get better. You know what I mean? So I just don't see why I can't be in the playoffs this year. I just don't see why.
One thing that you're not accounting for that is an unfortunate part is injuries, and our depth isn't great. So unfortunately, I hope this doesn't happen, but someone like DeMario goes down, that's a huge hit right there. Like that one person. So like if everyone's healthy, yeah, I love our chances, but unfortunately there are going to be some injuries, and the depth in some of these positions aren't that great. So it does worry me.
Well, that's where Muji needs to step his game up, because if we're able to see it and say our offensive interior needs to be improved. We need improvement behind the depth of linebacker, and also we need to have a legitimate, backup QB, because we don't want to ruin Klubnik. Like I don't want to ruin Klubnik. If it's like week 9, 10 or something like that, then yeah, let him play. But before that, let's give us a chance to win the game, man. Like we got a lot of talent. Like let's take an opportunity to win the game. And I like Klubnik, but I don't think he is ready to start in National Football League. Like the National Football League is different, man. You know what I mean? So I would like to see a better backup for him. But I do think still though, like but that's any team. If they lose energy, I'm sorry, any team that injury, they're out of it. Look at the Chiefs last year.
And our backup offensive line does worry me, and we were talking about that earlier. And listen, last year we had all 5 guys make it the entire season, but the 2 years prior to that, I think we went through 16 and 14 offensive linemen. Like, we had guys that had no business being out there at all.
We had 2K generated players.
Ugly. And so injuries will play a big part of it. Now, I love our depth on the defensive line. I love our depth in a lot of areas. And I was talking about this the other day too. Like, until we drafted Garrett, we had to go all the way back to Keyshawn for a first-round wide receiver. Now we got 2 first-round wide receivers. Now, if you look at our starting 3 wide receivers and our 2 tight ends, we got 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Dude, we've never had that kind of draft pedigree across our offense that I can ever remember. And granted, draft position doesn't automatically equal success, but the potential is there. And I don't ever remember our offense being this loaded with weapons. And I think we're just going to have too many options for teams to be able to cover all of them. And we're going to have to identify where that weak link is and be able to take advantage of it. But there's going to be opportunities there for us to be successful.
I think Eddie's trying to say something. But your volume's down.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, no, yeah, we're good. But think about that added to the offensive linemen. The offensive linemen that we've been able to add at the same time with the weapons. Right?
Yeah.
Cooper's pretty good. Yeah, I like Cooper.
And I really like our offensive line. And I think that, Myers, obviously, probably the weak link. He's passable, and I think we can make it just fine and be successful with him. I don't think he's like so much of a detriment that it's going to cause the team to be bad. However, I would like to upgrade. And you know what? That's why I say I think 1 more year. And you know what? A year from now, I think we won't be questioning the 3rd linebacker or the depth of offensive line. Like, I think we'll be able to shore up all of that. The center, like, I think at the end of next year, we won't have any questions.
20 other teams. 20 other teams in the NFL. Myers would start easily. I mean, he's not horrible. He's just not.
What I would say is, if we start winning games, the good thing is I do trust in Muji to make those moves to try to get some of those deficiencies. I think he's gonna wait to see how this team is actually playing throughout the season. If we're starting 3-2, 4-2, like if we're showing that we can compete, I trust in Muji to be able to make some moves to bring some new guys in here, some competitors to try to make that push for the playoffs. But I think he's not going to make those type of moves until we prove to him that this is the team. Like, let's start going in for it now. But
I'll say this too about Myers too, though. Like think about this too, though, man. Like, we're questioning Myers off of last year, right? When we had Justin Fields, who was holding the ball for 4 or 5 seconds, right? So if Myers can hold up for the standard 3 seconds, like, he's doing his job, which is good enough, right? I do agree with you though, Ricky. I do want to see that position be a little bit more solidified with maybe like a rookie next year. I do agree with that. And I don't want us to wait until till it's too late. We always do. That's the one thing we do. Let's be proactive. Like last year, we were proactive when we went and got Briggs, whom we all love, right? But you need to be proactive like that. There's a couple like right now, I would want to get another. Let's go see what Raheem Mostert is going to cost. He's pretty good, man. He's out there in free agency. Like, pick him up as another running back. You know what I mean? Like, because right now.
He's like 33, 34.
Dude, you know what? But he's going to cost us like $2 million, and he can still run. He's still fast. You know what I mean? So I'm not asking him to be the number one, but I need somebody to complement because Brees going to have to be ramped up, and I don't want to rush Brees back, and then he tears the bone off the groin off the bone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then he's done for the season. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to ease him back. We know that Jack Rabbit is hurt, so we could use another. Let's be proactive about that, and let's get another linebacker out there. There's linebackers out there.
Linebackers for sure.
Yeah, we can get that. You know what I mean? Like we got the cap.
We
So
got
let's we got that money. Like just let's spend a little bit of it, and we're gonna still have a ton of it for next year. But like, let's be proactive in those areas. And I think if we did that, I think, man,
and
we
I
would feel
think
so much better about
this
it.
is the thing too, is in the next couple of weeks we're going to get to cut down day, and there's going to be some good players that shake loose from other teams. We were talking about this the other day. Arizona, they drafted Love, they got James Conner, they got a stable of running backs there, and they ain't all probably making that team. Me, I'm a Florida State guy. I like fucking Trey Benson. Fucking, he's got that speed like fucking Brees has. He can catch the fucking ball. They end up fucking cutting him. I'd fucking sign him in a heartbeat. But there's going to be some good players that shake loose from other teams, and you know what? Maybe we can augment some of that. Maybe we can bring in, some better fucking depth at the O line. Maybe we can bring in another linebacker or a center that can, maybe not replace Myers, but push him. So I agree with that sentiment completely. And, I do have faith in Muji. That's why I wasn't really sweating the third linebacker thing, because I'm thinking, you know what, there's going to be some good players that get cut loose from other teams. Muji's done extremely well at finding those guys and bringing them in like he did with Briggs and Phillips. So I have confidence in him. I know it's only his second year, but he's already one of my favorite fucking GMs. And I'll tell you what.
Yeah, me too.
That Sauce trade, okay, getting fucking, and I was real high on A.D. Mitchell coming out of college. Fucking, I always liked A.D. Mitchell. So when we got 2 1s plus him for Sauce, and then watching Sauce's first game where he's fucking falling on his ass and giving not just twice, but once on the game-winning touchdown that lost them that game, and they lost every single game after acquiring Sauce. I was like, wow, you know what? Fucking, that was masterful. And Quinnen Williams, you know what? He went to fucking Dallas and he was like a man reborn and shit. You know what? He had about the same amount of sacks as fucking Briggs did after we got rid of his ass. So I'm extremely pleased with Muji. Muji's got to be in my top 2 or 3 GMs we've ever had, and will probably end up being my favorite one ever already.
I can't disagree with that, bro. He's made some really good moves, man. But you got to keep his finger. And I think you're right. I think he is gonna have some. He's gonna look at that. Next week, next Sunday when they cut down day, and then he's gonna pick up some players, couple of players real quick. I have confidence in that. I feel that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Dude, this has been an absolute fucking blast, man. We've had
hell yeah. Thank you guys for jumping on.
Always good to come on after a win, man. Fuck, I don't care if it's preseason or not. I fucking like winning fucking games. So this has been awesome. I'm actually going to start winding it down a little bit now. Even though it's not anything definite or anything, right before the show, I happened to check one of my emails because I got a personal one and then one that I use for, I won't call it business, but all of this, I got my real life one and my Jets one, but I happened to look at the real life one, and all of a sudden I got like 4 messages from Indeed from like prospective employers.
Nice. That's
now,
nice.
Because of where I am, and I'm kind of like out in the country a little bit, I got to like research these places and find out if there are even places that I'm capable of getting to, because you kind of got to get to the job in order to be able to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Yeah. So I have to kind of get into that and research that a little bit. And likewise, I got a computer issue that my daughter's got to come over and help me with. That I'm not the greatest on the computer. I'll be the first to admit it. But I got something that's kind of stumped me where, like, I'm doing something with YouTube. It gives me this like QR code thing. I scan it with my phone, and then it fucking disappears. Like, once it's in there, it doesn't take me to the site like it normally would. I can't find it in any of my apps. It's just gone. And I'm like, okay, why the hell is this happening? fucking I can't figure it out. I tried to go to the fucking Google Play Store and fucking I was gonna just download it. What's up, man?
What up, man?
Hey, what's up?
What's happening?
What's up, y'all?
Not a
What's going on?
not a whole lot.
What's going on?
Yeah, I see y'all talking about the Jets, man. I figured I'd join in.
What you got?
Right on, right on. We're actually starting to wind down a little bit, but glad to have you join us, man. And I'll hang out for a few more. Yeah, man. Like, dude, everything. And I talked about this with Green Bean when he was on the show. Listening to the way the players talk and they're bought in. You listen to Garrett and all these guys that have been here talking about how this year just feels different. I think there have been so many little positives that when you add them all up and look at it as a whole, I think there's reason for all of us to be optimistic and feel good going into this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He did.
Well, listen, man, I'm going to let you guys get up off here and
Take care, bro.
y'all have a good evening.
You too.
And we will catch y'all the next time, man. But it was great chopping it up with you guys.
You likewise,
Right
bro.
on, man. Thank you for calling in, Devin. It's always good to see you, and we'll get with you again soon.
Yeah. Good call, Devin. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I just think there's so many little positives going on that it's hard not to be optimistic.
Dude, Ricky, 7 for 7. You know, he hasn't rocked a Jets jersey in 10 years, right?
Yeah,
Almost
you know?
10 years.
Shoot.
That was cool to watch.
Yeah, you good, Lord.
No
Okay,
matter
cool,
what,
man.
that was cool to watch.
Yeah, it was. And dude, like the way that game started off last night, that's exactly what I wanted to see. We marched right down the field and score on that first drive. I was like, perfect. Exactly what I wanted to see.
That's it.
I wanted to
Right.
see that starting offense look good. I wanted to see AD Mitchell get involved. I basically saw everything I wanted to see on that first drive. You know, barring Brees being out there, I saw everything I wanted to see.
Yeah, true that. So it'd even be better with Brees. That's the cool thing,
Yes.
right? So, yeah, I was so stoked, man. I was beyond stoked. I'm a huge homer, so I get happy off of everything.
Yeah, the running game wasn't that good last night, but there was nobody really that's going to be running the ball during the season that was running the ball last night, except for Braylon Allen had maybe 2 or 3 touches. Other than that, it was Kenny Nwangu and a bunch of randoms.
Yeah, but you know what? Conversely, when you look at that, being that Brees and Isaiah are both hurt, are you going to put Braylon out there?
No, I wouldn't.
And
that's my point. That's my point. Yeah, like so when people look at the running stats from last game, because I know a lot of people were talking about the running game being bad which it was, but the context matters. Where it wasn't people that was actually most likely even going to make the roster that was running the ball for the most part.
Right on.
Same for next.
So Lord, where are you calling from? Where are you coming to us from?
Sorry, buddy.
Man, I'm calling from Dallas, Texas, man. I used to live in New York.
Oh wow, right on.
For most of my life, but yeah, Dallas, Texas, with the Cowboys fans, but now representing for the Jets.
Let's go.
It's a squad.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I'm in Tampa, Florida, so I feel you. I'm down in the South too, where it's hot as hell, and I'm surrounded by Buccaneer fans, but it's all good. I rock my green every day.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Man, how y'all feel about Geno Smith coming back, though? Because I feel like a lot of folks, at least the media that I see, they've been kind of down on my boy. And I think, like, the biggest storyline is if Geno Smith can come back and actually bring us to that promised land that Aaron Glenn is talking about. Like, that's the biggest story that we can take away if anything happens this Jets season. Like, I feel like folks are talking about, okay, Geno, he had a bad season with the Raiders. That's fine. Yada, yada, yada. And for the Jets, we're all talking about 2027. But no one's really talking about, what about 2026? Like, we have the roster to do stuff. Like, what if we make a run this year? What happens?
Yep.
No one's talking about that. So I just wanted to get your opinions on that particular point.
Well, I completely agree. And the Gino that was here previously is not the Gino that we're getting now. Gino's a
Nah.
lot more experienced. He's played a lot of ball. He's seen a lot of ball. And you know what? He did have a bad year last year. But dude, Oakland or Vegas, the Raiders are a fucking hot mess, dude. They look like shit.
Yeah.
Leading up to the draft, man, Mendoza was it, man. He was the fucking savior. He looked like shit last night. Fucking he was getting hammered. Fucking they looked awful with him back there. I know Jets Johnny will love that with that Mendoza fucking nickname that he loves to throw around. But he looked like Mendoza last night. So and that's the thing. Like, you know, a lot of times quarterbacks, they get drafted at the top. They're going to a bad team. And I keep wanting to say Oakland. I guess I'm showing my age. The Raiders are a bad team. That's all there is to it. That offensive line is awful. And I know that they, you know, when I got Linderbaum or whatever, one guy doesn't make an offensive line.
No. Nope.
So
it's a good start, though. Linderbaum's amazing.
Hours, they don't really have weapons. And once he got hurt last year, like that was it, man. And so I don't know that we're going to get the level of Gino, you know, when he was in Seattle and he had that one really amazing year where Lockett and Metcalf both went off. But dude, we've got a lot of weapons. We've got a good offensive line that's going to give him time to throw the ball, and he's going to get rid of the ball. He's going to get it out on time, and he's going to be able to find the open guy. And honestly, that's what this team has been missing. So I'm excited about Gino. I think he's going to be a lot better than most people are giving him credit for.
So to your question, I think it was kind of like waves of different emotions getting Gino. Like one, we just got Justin Fields the hell out of here. Thank God, right? Any quarterback that we bring in after that is going to feel good. Then it was, what did we get him for? We basically got him for a seventh. It was a beautiful trade. It was great value. Then it starts kicking in. It doesn't feel great to have Gino as your starter with just knowing that Gino is your starter and not knowing what the rest of the team's going to look like. As the team started building out, though, it made me feel so much better about having Gino. Because he kind of fits, and credit to Muji and AG and the way that they're building it, he fits the roster perfectly. We're surrounding him with weapons. We're surrounding him with an offensive line that's going to give him at least 3 to 4 seconds, which is all he needs to get it out his hands. It makes me feel a lot better knowing that we have a veteran quarterback that's in here that also understands what it means to play for New York and to possibly win for New York. That type of pressure that it brings. He was a kid when he had to go through that the first time. He's coming back as a man with all the experience and stuff like that. So today, as of 8/22, I do love having Gino as the quarterback. I really do.
Yeah, and I agree. And it's to me, it's kind of about like complementary football. Okay, we got AD Mitchell, who's an awesome downfield threat. You know what? Frank Wright likes to take shots down the field. Gino likes to take shots down the field. They got a wide receiver now that fits what both of them like to do perfectly. You got Garrett, who can get open on damn near anybody. And then you look at the tight ends, Cooper, Isaiah Williams starting to really develop. Like, we've got a plethora of weapons. So, yeah, man, like I said earlier, like, dude, our top 3 receivers and our 2 tight ends, we got 3 first-round picks and 2 seconds. Like, we've never had that kind of talent from a draft perspective, like, ever that I can remember. So I think there's a lot of reason for optimism.
No, I agree. And I think, you know, at least from my perspective, I know folks like to talk about tanking and tank commanders and things like that. But, like, tanking actually doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't help teams. Like, if you think about the teams that people say, quote unquote, tanks, like people say, like Kansas City tanked to get Patrick Mahomes, or the Bills tanked to get Josh Allen. Like, they didn't really tank. Like, they established winning cultures before those rookies came into play. So I think with Aaron Glenn, you know, he had a rough season last season, obviously, and I was kind of tough because I'm a big Aaron Glenn guy. I remember watching him growing up. But his number one mission right now is to establish a winning culture. That's number one. Because no rookie is going to come in here with losing culture and succeed. It just doesn't work. Like Mendoza, like he came in there and he pretty much has the same O line that Gino was working with, other than Lindenbaum, and he's looking like he's struggling. So and that's the other fact. Like there's no Heisman winner that has ever won a Super Bowl, so they got that curse to deal with.
Yeah.
But it's like from a tanking perspective, people need to cut that tank talk out of here. Establish the winning culture first, so that any rookies that come in, they know what the deal is, right? So that's just my take.
Agreed.
I completely agree. And dude, listen, the whole tanking idea, that's like a fan mentality. Like there's no NFL player that's going to say, you know what, I'm just going to go out there and suck and put that on my resume. So when I go after that next contract, people are going to look at me and say, yeah, that's a guy that fucking quit. That NFL players, they just don't have that in their pedigree. So the tanking thing is a fan thing. I don't think that, no coach wants to go out and lose on purpose. No GM, no player. Like all these guys want to succeed. So that's how I feel about that. And like, listen, man, when your team is really fucking bad and they don't really give you any reason for hope or anything to look forward to, like sometimes you latch onto whatever you can, and sometimes that thing that people latch onto, unfortunately, is a high draft pick the following year, and that's where the tanking idea comes from, in my opinion. Oh shit!
There it goes.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I was trying to.
You got to kick the other one off.
Okay.
There you go. There it goes.
Oh. There he goes.
You miss somebody?
Underlips. Where he at?
Under nuts. Awesome.
There we go. There you are.
There
What's
it
up,
goes.
man?
There it goes.
What's up, Ricky? How many fucking gummies did you have?
Really not that. I did smoke about a doob and a half since I've been on, but no edibles yet. That's for
how you doing with the cigarettes, brother?
Good. It's been it's probably going on almost 2 weeks, not quite. But
Dude, it's fucking rough, man. I know last couple times I was talking to you like during the game and shit like that, my phone died and stuff like that. So I just wanted to jump in and say what's up to you, bro.
Right on. It's good. Always good to see you, man. Fucking how's that Rakuzi treating you? Getting lots of mileage out of that?
I drank out of it like once. I was just chilling in the pool and stuff like that. Put the heater on, cranked it to 90. We're all just me and the kids were playing volleyball and shit like that. So I saw like you guys popping on, trying to check out some shows. But when you're talking about tanking, like I'm not gonna lie, like yes, I want them to win, but like that season that we beat the Rams and shit like that, like I was pissed when we beat them. You know what I mean? Because it's pointless. Like you could show improvement, and you could show improvement in the players and improvement in coaching without when you're at that point, like at that point in the season when you're like have 2 games left and you want to secure the number 1 draft pick, I'll root for a tank. Because what is 2 wins going to fucking prove? Because out of those 2 games you could still lose and show competitiveness, you know what I mean? But like if you're winning games by fucking special teams and shit like that and your team is just straight dog shit, it means absolutely nothing. I'm just being honest.
I feel like I want the wins. I'm not gonna lie.
Go into a season saying, "Oh, I hope we lose every single game so we could get the number 1 draft." You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that. I don't go long, but I mean, I get that.
Say it again.
And when a season is already lost, and like say it's the last game of the year or something, like I still want to look competitive. Like nobody wants to go out there and just get whooped. Like I can see that part, but. I think for me, what bothers me is like when the season hasn't even started yet, and people are like, "Oh, That's like when
That's almost
Frankie V
playing like
first
like
first started coming on Jake's show, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, they just need to go ahead and tank for the year and get that fucking Hydra." And I'm like, and that's when I typed in the chat. I gave him the name Tanky V. I'm like, oh yeah, Tanky V wants to fucking lose every game, and well, that nickname really fucking stuck.
That's what the filter for, man.
But
we're good. Let's just
yeah,
because at that point, there's no point of even watching the games if you want them to. You know what I'm saying? Like at the beginning of the year, but like once it's far gone and you're like 0-10, and it's like 0, 0-14, it's like, dude, it's like no fucking point. Like you're still gonna, we're still there, we're watching the game because we're fans and shit like that. But it's like,
I disagree.
Like
because if you're there watching it, why are you watching it if you want them to lose at that point? Like, what's the point of watching it
when they're 0-14?
In any scenario, but in the scenario that you put, if we're go ahead.
Okay. If they're 0-14, and I know there's no chance to even, I'm watching it to show some resemblance of like structure or team or improvement for next year. You know what I mean? But you still want them to lose. I don't like for me because you want the draft pick too. It's like I don't want them to fucking go, 14 losses and the rest wins. I'm not doing math in my head right now. What is it? 18 games, so it's like,
now.
Yeah, but like with the bye and shit. But it's like I would if they were 0-14, I would rather them lose every single game, but be and show like signs of competitiveness. You know what I mean? That's just me. So I don't care.
So what's the point of showing signs of competitiveness if you still ultimately want to lose the game? Like for me, if you want to show competitiveness, try to win the damn game and then come out with the win. That's how I know that for sure that you're actually improving in something or showing me that something that you could do for next year. And as a fan, if I'm watching that, I'm never rooting against them.
I get it. I'm just being honest. It's like
that's fine.
The season, I'm going on fucking the mock drafts and shit like that, and like that's all I'm doing is looking at mock. You're looking at Tankathon, and you're like, who do they have us picking and shit like that. Dude, man, like, trust me, like, I fucking love the Jets. I married my wife December 29th, 2002. The last time the Jets won the AFC East, I was getting married during the game against Green Bay. You know what I mean? And I fucking was watching that shit. I was watching that shit at the bar with my dad, and it was such an awesome feeling. And like everyone was getting pissed, and I was like, nope, she knows. The Jets were here before. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe she. Yeah, maybe she's a jinx or whatever. And it's like all my kids are Jets fans, and I have a 21-year-old, and his earliest memory is fucking, Ryan Fitzpatrick fucking, beating the Patriots like in overtime. You know what I mean? That's like his earliest memory of the Jets, which is cool. He's like they haven't won shit since. It sucks, So we all want the same thing, and
for me, like the only way that I would want to probably just go ahead and lose those 2 games and say secure that number 1 pick is like if it meant getting the number 1 pick and getting that franchise quarterback. But in order for that to make sense, we would have to be only a quarterback away. And if we're an 0-14 team, then we're obviously probably more than just a quarterback away. So it's hard for me to buy into that.
The other part of that, though, is we don't know if that quarterback that's available is the franchise quarterback. You could have said that for Mendoza. There's a lot of things about Mendoza that's coming in with questions this year. It's just I understand the sexiness of having the number 1 pick, but having that number 1 pick doesn't mean anything if we don't hit on it. We've had a bunch of number 2 picks and fucked it up. So
even when Trevor Lawrence was the number 1 pick, like that's what I'm talking about with the Rams, and it's like those first 2 years. Like we were shaky. Like in my head, I was like, he looks like a fucking bust,
Yeah.
So it's like we dodged. Like who gives a shit? And like nobody knows, dude. The Niners picked
nobody knows,
Lance, and they lucked out by getting Brock Purdy. That exactly to be real, like they lucked 100%. Out. They have a great. Their coaching staff is like Shanahan is unreal. He's a great offensive mind, and if he could basically plug in anybody that's not dog shit into that offense, and it's gonna run. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, man. Like. If you have a good offensive mind and coach or a coordinator, you could have an average quarterback. like Jalen Hurts, man. Like there's days you watch him and you're like, man, this guy is unreal. Then some days he's dog shit. But I think in the whole totality of him, he's an average or a little bit better than average quarterback. He's not elite, but they
He's a starter for
win
sure.
with him with good coach. Yeah, but like he's a top 13 quarterback. But it's like you could win a Super Bowl with him with good defense, good play calling, and it's like it all comes down to the coaching and play calling, man. And it's like I really do think that we went through so much crap with the Jets that like this is like a crossroads, like especially in next year's draft. And I know everyone's been saying this. I really do think better days are ahead, and I feel like it can't be this bad forever. It can't be,
Right.
I refuse.
That I definitely agree with. Now, I do have a question for you. What do you think in planning your wedding on the day that the Jets are playing?
That's what I was thinking too. I would have did it the day before. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, what was I, 20? I don't know. I can't remember. Married to 2002, bro. It's like he was 18. She was 18 for less than a month. I was broke. I got married at the Holiday Inn at fucking MacArthur Airport on Long Island, where the Holiday Inn was right there. Like that's where I got married, dude. Like it's I don't know. I don't know why it was the last game of the season. I don't know why it was planned that way. I don't remember how the events led that way. And I had tickets to go to that game, and I had to cancel those tickets to get married.
Oh, now, I'm pushing that wedding back.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You guys all know me, so this will probably come as no surprise, but I tend to go against the grain a little bit. I don't want to get dressed up in some stuffy fucking suit and all that shit. So my wedding was a little bit different. I planned it to be like a fucking party. And me and my wife, we got married. It was a Saturday night. It was about 8:00, the same as my shows. But we actually got married a couple days before Halloween. And it was a fucking costume dress up fucking wedding fucking party. Everybody was in costume. It was a party. We had fucking rock and roll fucking cranking, and it was a good time. It was crazy. It was a lot different than any other wedding I've ever been to. But you know what? It was also the funnest wedding I've ever been to. We had a good fucking time, and it was awesome.
Sounds like fun, dude.
Hey,
Sounds like fun, dude.
I gotta run, bro. I do.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna probably start winding this down too, because I mean we've gone 2.5 hours, man. This was
a great show. Thank you guys
man.
for calling in, bro.
We had a
great
lot
show.
of really
Thanks for
good
bringing me on, y'all.
conversation. Yes,
Take
man.
care,
Thanks, Ricky.
Thank you for
Appreciate
calling in, and we'll be back Tuesday at 8:00. We'll be back again Thursday at 8:00. I got Court from Court Sports coming in. So yeah, man. I look forward to seeing you and talking to you again. Thank you for calling in. Yeti, thank you for calling.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Gino for 4,000 yards. Let's go.
Let's go.
Right on, man. Thunderlips, thank you for calling in, man. Definitely always appreciate you, man. I'll hit you up on Discord this week sometime. Dude, Lord, thank you for calling in, man. Awesome fucking call for a first time caller. I wish I could have caught you a little bit earlier and not right at the end, but dude, good to hear from you, and hopefully we see you again sometime too. And Macho, dude, thanks, man. This has been a blast. Fucking
thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of initially had planned to talk about a couple other things, but the callers started calling in, and the conversation was fucking flowing, and it was a good time, man. I look forward to doing this again sometime, man, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen again during the season. Hopefully, you were able to get some good subscribers. I know we try to reach that 500. So if you're in the chat or you're watching this and you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my boy. Trying to get him to that 500 before week 1. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Right on, man. Right on. Cool. I will talk to you soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Macho just said, if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. We're making that hard push to hit 500 by week 1. We're up over 450 now. And just continuing to climb, continuing to grow, and keep getting better. and it's all because of you guys. Without you guys, there would be no show. But man, you know what? Good things are in store for us. The Jets are going to be better this year. I'm looking forward to where this team is going. I do think that we got the right coach. I think we're getting the right players in place. And I think that success is just right around the corner. So everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button on the way out. And until next time, like always, go Jets.
Thank you. Good night. We love you all.